Nottingham is a city in central England's Midlands region. The county town of Nottinghamshire was granted its city charter in 1897 as part of Queen Victoria Diamond Jubilee celebrations. As England's oldest inn, Ye Old Trip to Jerusalem is nestled beneath the cliff on which Nottingham's historic castle stands. It was once a well-known pit stop for Crusader knights. It is said that King Richard the Lionheart and his men gathered at this historic royal dwelling before journeying to Jerusalem in 1189 AD, thus giving the pub its unusual name. Sevens House is a Grade II listed building dating from the 15th century. One of Nottingham's most popular attractions is the statue of the outlaw Robin Hood, which stands on a small green space known as Robin Hood's Lawn in what used to be the moat of medieval Nottingham Castle. One of these stories says that Robin Hood was captured by his enemy, the wicked Sheriff of Nottingham, and held prisoner in Nottingham Castle. When Nottingham Castle was visited by Queen Elizabeth, these plaques were mounted along the wall outside what known to be the cursed Castle Gatehouse. They effectively illustrate the stories behind the legend of Robin Hood and his merry men. In the years after the Norman conquest in 1066, William, now King of England, began to assert his control over his new territory. He decided to build Nottingham Castle in 1068, constructing a wooden moat and bailey castle. In the Middle Ages, it was an important royal fortress and occasional royal residence. In decline by the 16th century, the original castle was largely demolished in 1651, aside from its walls and gates. William Cavendish, 1st Duke of Newcastle, later built a mansion on the site in the 1670s, which was completed by his son Henry Cavendish, 2nd Duke of Newcastle. This historic Elizabethan mansion took on a very special role when it appeared as Wayne Manor in the Dark Knight trilogy. This ducal palace was burnt down by rioters in 1831 and was left as a ruin for over 40 years. It was rebuilt in the 1870s to house an art gallery and museum. The old market square forms the heart of the city, covering an area of approximately 12,000 square meters, or about 3 acres. It is one of the largest paved squares in the United Kingdom. The eastern end of the square is dominated by the Council House, which served as Nottingham's town hall until 2010. Folklore has it that it was in the market square where outlaw Robin Hood took advantage of an amnesty and won the coveted silver arrow in a contest devised by the Sheriff of Nottingham. The Sneinton Dragon is an impressive stainless steel sculpture by Nottingham-born artist Robert Stubley. Standing 7 feet high and with a 15-foot wingspan, it lurks in the shade of the trees lining an urban street corner. Green's windmill in Sneinton was built by the father of notable scientist and mathematician George Green in 1807. Sadly, the mill was badly damaged by a fire in 1947, but was later restored by Nottingham City Council in the 1980s. The windmill began milling again in December 1986, and the giant sails can still be seen working to this day. Today the working mill is a popular museum and science center, which teaches new generations of children about the valuable work of George Green.